Hi guys, this is Tony, the Trauma Doula. Welcome to my channel. I'm so happy you could make it here with me. If you're tuning into the podcast, welcome to the show and thank you for listening as always. And if you are on YouTube, you're part of my YouTube clique, please like, share, and subscribe to my videos so that I can keep putting these out and doing this for everyone. So, what are we talking about today? The message that keeps coming through to me very clearly is spiritual bypassing. This idea, this movement really, of hashtag positive vibes only tribes, okay? That's what they call themselves, the positive vibes only, you know. And I'm not talking about the no drama because we all know that person that can have things going on, but it's always drama. Okay, that's a different thing. Here we're talking about spiritual bypassing, which is really not looking at an issue for what it is and instead bypassing it or just covering it up. That's not diving deep. Okay, we at the Trauma Doula want to go deep. We want to go deep into what is really the underlying cause of this pain or this suffering. Okay, we want to go deep into the reoccurring mindsets, the reoccurring behaviors, the reoccurring thoughts and emotions that keep us stuck in these old stories that no longer serve us. So when I talk about spiritual bypassing, this is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about only allowing a surface, superficial level of understanding to come into our lives. And so when we're working from a place of trauma healing and we're working to move through some pain and suffering, we're going to feel some pain and suffering, okay? Because moving through trauma is not easy. If you're ready to do this, give yourself a pat on the back because this is not easy work. And if you're not, that is totally and utterly okay. You are where you are. Stay there. Only move forward when you really feel ready. So more on the topic of spiritual bypassing. Comment below if you have any questions or comments about spiritual bypassing or times when bypassing or not allowing someone to feel something or say something because it was painful has affected you. So today I teach yoga, trauma healing yoga to domestic violence survivors, people who are in domestic violence shelters or rec centers and things like that. I teach yoga in those spaces because trauma-informed yoga is a way for people to really move into healing. That's one of the practices that I always suggest, but not just a core power yoga class. That's not what those are for, even though they can move you into those spaces. I'm talking about mindful trauma-informed yoga. Okay, there'll be a workshop coming to your area soon. But mindful trauma-informed yoga for healing, can move you forward in actually feeling what's there and diving into head first into that pain, okay? Because many times it's the pushing away our pain and our suffering, right? The bypassing, that spiritual bypassing, that makes it bigger and bigger and bigger because we are not allowing ourselves to truly feel it. We have decided that to be happy or to be good or to look successful We have to not feel our feelings. That's not where healing comes in. Okay, sometimes healing looks like moving backwards. It looks like moving backwards. Okay, because you have this braid and you've braided this rope, and at some point the rope got jumbled because stuff was going on and you weren't able to pay attention to how you were braiding that rope. And now you have to go back and unbraid it to the jumble. And then you have to work that jumble out. And then you can re-braid it. And you might have multiple jumbles and knots in that braid that you have to go back and unbraid and then re-braid it. Okay, this is the process of healing. Sometimes moving backwards is moving forward. You're moving from a stronger place. So when we begin to move forward in these practices, we're going to have these moments that come up where we really want to bypass that pain. We hit this wall. Okay? And we're like, you know what? This wall doesn't even exist. It doesn't exist. I'm going to go over here. You know what? That wall is still there. It didn't disappear just because you didn't acknowledge it. And maybe it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Either until you do something about it or it does something about you. Okay? But which one usually happens? Usually it does something about you. And suddenly your life is shifted, and for some reason you're not sleeping, or you're not eating, you're never hungry, or you're eating all the time, you're super hungry all the time, or you're having anxiety or panic attacks, or whatever the symptom is of you not going back and allowing that wall to dissolve, not allowing yourself to feel that. So that's spiritual bypassing at its finest. I had a student today in the yoga class ask me, how do I begin to get into touch with my body? Okay. How do I get to be in touch with my body? Because as she puts it, I run into fear. I'm afraid to be in my body because of the trauma. And that's real. That's valid. That's real. Sometimes our body is the hardest place to be. But it's speaking to us every single day, working to tell us what we need to do. Our body has the answers. Our emotions have the answers, and they can tell us how to heal. A guide, whether that's me, whether that's, someone who does some type of therapy, whether that's somatic treatments, whether that's Reiki, whoever that guide is, walks beside you while you try to break down those walls, while you try to feel into your body, while you work on these things so that you can begin to feel safe. That's where those helping relationships really come in. So anyway, I am the Trauma Doula. Hit me up on my website at thetraumadoula.com. Follow me on Instagram and follow me on Facebook. Thank you so much. Bye.